There's an awful lot of subcompact crossovers in the North American marketplace. We've got models from pretty much every manufacturer out there available for you to check out. So, do we need another one? Well, if you're Toyota, you say yes. And that's why this year they have launched another addition to their lineup. It's an all-new edition. It's beside me here. It is the 2022 Toyota Corolla Cross. It goes alongside the CHR in its subcompact or compact crossover category, however you want to define it. And the Corolla Cross is the feature of my latest review. At launch, this Corolla Cross is being powered by a single powertrain option. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine that puts out 169 horsepower, and it is paired to a CVT transmission, which normally I'm not a big, I don't hate CVTs. I understand the importance of them. But with this Corolla Cross and this 4-cylinder engine, it's really problematic. I got to tell you, this is not a vehicle that you're going to be buying for performance because the CVT is loud, especially in the wintertime with the colder temperatures. It really doesn't get your heart racing. It's kind of slow off the line, especially accelerating on the highways. But then I guess I don't really think people are going to buy this as a performance-oriented vehicle. You don't normally look at these types of vehicles for towing capacity. However, if you do have something you need to bring behind it, you can get up to 1,500 pounds of towing capability with this Corolla Cross. There is good flexibility of drivetrain options because the Corolla Cross is available both in front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive versions across North America. This XLE trim that I'm driving comes standard with all-wheel drive, and I think in Canada you're going to see more people opting for all-wheel drive. But if you're in a fair weather part of the continent, somewhere in the southern U.S. or even parts in Canada that's generally temperate on the West Coast, for example, and you want to maximize fuel efficiency, front-wheel drive is available. On most trim levels, you can get all-wheel drive with just a small additional amount. In Canada, it's about $1,400, but you have that flexibility, which is a good thing, and I think people want that. In terms of fuel efficiency, it depends upon whether you're going to be driving front-wheel drive or with all-wheel drive, but according to Toyota, the posted combined fuel economy rating for front-wheel drive vehicles is 7.4 liters per 100 kilometers, which equates to 31.8 US miles per gallon. If you're in the all-wheel drive, such as I am, the combined fuel economy rating is 7.8 liters per 100 kilometers, or 30.2 US miles per gallon. Now, in my experience, I have actually not really been near that throughout the week. For most of my week, I've been hovering around 9.2, 9.3. But I will concede this is winter time. We're just now in the very beginning of January as I'm filming this. Plus, the combined fuel economy ratings that we see is a combination of 55 city, 45 highway, and I really haven't done that much highway driving this week. It's kind of in between Christmas and New Year's, and I've been more puttering around driving my kids to work than I have been on any highway. So I would expect the rating to be higher. I just can't officially say whether that's a real true measurement overall. Now, that really isn't great fuel economy numbers to begin with for a vehicle of its size and displacement. So if you are someone who'd be looking for a vehicle like this, but better fuel economy, in the 2023 model year, the Corolla Cross will launch as a hybrid version as well. We don't have any real figures or details on it other than I know that a hybrid is coming, and in all likelihood, you will see much better fuel economy numbers. If it matches the Corolla hybrid, then you'll be really impressed, because I still think that the Corolla hybrid, which I have reviewed and you can certainly watch, probably was the week that I can remember in all the years I've done regular hybrids where I got the best combined fuel economy in any vehicle that doesn't plug in. So we'll be optimistic, and I hope to see what we get with this Corolla Cross in the hybrid variant. From a design perspective, the Corolla Cross, both inside and outside, have all the hallmarks of a more typical and classic Toyota design, and one that is consistent with its sedan namesake. That is to say, it's not flashy, but lends more to being simple, contemporary, and it's meant for broad-based appeal overall. Some notable exterior design cues include a distinctive black grille flanked by LED lighting with black body accents. And at the rear, there is an integrated rear spoiler and LED lighting. Wheel options range from 17-inch steel on L trims up to 18-inch alloys on the XLE. As for the interior design, if you've ever set foot inside a current generation Corolla or Corolla hybrid, then the interior of the Corolla Cross will seem very familiar. The layout is simplistic and generally ergonomic with proper tactile controls for most key features like climate controls, which are dual zone in the top-end XLE trim, heated seats, and steering wheel, as well as rotary knobs for audio selecting and volume. The center infotainment touchscreen is 7 inches on the base L trim and 8-inch on LE and XLE models. There is compatibility with both Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, although neither come with wireless connectivity. My XLE tester does offer wireless charging, but I couldn't use it if I had to connect my smartphone to use Android Auto. On LE and XLE trims, there are 2 USB charging ports for rear seat passengers. Cloth seats are standard on all but the XLE trim I drove, which were covered with Softex simulated leather. In Canada, heated front seats are standard on all trim levels. The XLE trim I drove also had a crisp and easy-to-read 7-inch LED color TFT multi-information display, which I really quite liked. Now, as a subcompact SUV, it is a pretty tight fit inside, especially for second-row passengers. With only a maximum of 32 inches of legroom in the rear and not too much space across, putting 3 adults in the second row is only advisable for short periods of time. The almost 43 inches of legroom up front is certainly enough, but to get to that amount you'd be pushing the seat back almost to the front of the second row, so bear that in mind. You'll also get about 25 cubic feet of cargo space in behind the second row of the Corolla Cross and just about 88 cubic feet of total passenger volume overall. Variances can depend upon whether you have front wheel or all-wheel drive in terms of cargo space and whether you have a moonroof or not in terms of overall passenger volume.
So why use the Corolla name in the Corolla Cross? Well, I mean, you certainly could come up with a new name, and because it is an all-new design, but in some respects I get it. This is basically built more or less to the same specs, the same powertrain options and general dimensions as the traditional Corolla. It's just in a crossover. But I think probably more importantly is the recognition of the nameplate, Corolla, because I mean it is one of the stalwarts of the Toyota lineup. It has been around for generations. It is recognized as a highly reliable nameplate, and they've sold boatloads of them. So, you know, you could come up with an all-new name and try and equate it, or you could come up with, you know, basically something that mimics the Corolla, called the Corolla Cross, and away you go. This Corolla Cross does basically build a bit of redundancy in terms of sizing in the Toyota lineup because they do have the CHR. And I have asked the product planners, what's the difference? Why would you build the two? Because they still do intend to keep the CHR in the Toyota lineup. And I think they really make a distinction that the CHR, which really was a Scion design, but when they folded Scion, they brought it into the Toyota nameplate. It's really more of an urban, youthful type of look and target market, whereas the Corolla has a bit more wider appeal, will speak to bigger audiences. So they feel there is enough potential sales in this size category for Toyota to carry them both. Time will tell if they're right.
We have seen increasingly over the past few years how Toyota is really less afraid to make bold and exciting designs and models that they maybe weren't known for as much in years past. But with this Corolla Cross, they're actually going back to a more traditional formula. That is, building vehicles that are not spectacular. I mean, there's really nothing that I could say that's spectacular about this Corolla Cross. But what it is
is well designed. It's built by a manufacturer known for reliable vehicles with a lot of brand loyalty, and it's got attached to it a nameplate that has been around for decades and certainly has a lot of prominence in the hearts and minds of consumers. And if you're someone who falls into that category that's looking for something not spectacular, but reliable, well built, and, priced right, you'll probably want to give this one a shot. That's it for this review. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, please consider doing so. And if you are, please don't forget to hit that notification button so that you're aware of every time I post something new. That's it for now. I'm Eric Novak. Thanks for watching. There's plenty of ways for you to keep connected with me, so check out some of my social media links, suggested videos, and I'd really love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel.